that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
First time's the charm.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. And for full disclosure, he coached me.
Just
Yeah.
a little bit, just a little
So
bit.
yeah, well, like I said, we're not gonna let me pat myself on the back with some superiority abilities here. That was a full coaching. So thank you, sir. Yes, so well, thank you for joining us, man. You know, I, I'm lucky. We're meeting all these people through a mutual friend, Debbie Gamble.
Yeah,
And
she's a great person, man. Yeah.
yeah, she really is, and I can't thank her enough for one getting us in touch with you, and also
Yeah.
yourself being willing to just come on and talk
No,
with us. 'Cause
yeah. Thank you. Having the platform to be able to talk with you guys, I think it benefits both of us. So I'm glad to be able to help you guys, and you guys help me. So
That's what's
well,
up.
thank you again for that, sir. Really appreciate it. And so I was looking in a couple of fights. Like I watched the one versus Christopher Daniel.
yeah,
Your comment,
yeah,
yeah, your comment at 69.
yeah.
We'll start with the beginning of the fight. Now let's see if it was your same. He didn't respect you at all.
No, I
It,
feel like, especially like when I started fighting amateur, a lot of people look at me and they don't think I'm a fighter, and a lot of people I feel like sleep on me, and I feel like little by little I'm starting to show people I have a lot of skill, and I think either you keep sleeping on me, and I'm gonna keep like putting you like making you embarrass you. So that's just how I felt. I felt like even leading up to that fight, he was making a lot of posts saying that I was an easy fight, and then after the weigh-in, he was saying he was gonna body me, he was gonna finish me in the first round, and then I think he noticed like halfway into that first round, I'm no easy fight for anybody. So
Yeah.
was his hands were down at one. His hands are at his knees, and he's leaning in at you like giving
yeah,
your best shot. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And then next thing you know, it just. I mean, I said I love the end. I mean, you could see the passion in you because it wasn't like your hands raised like yeah. I mean, you fell to your knees like I mean, I'm amazed at this victory, and I'm like, I mean, here's a guy he came into it as a structure. I'm going to do my thing. I won, and there's no trash talking. It is a full on, like almost like a prayer. It's like thank you for this victory, and that was cool.
yeah. I mean, I've always loved this sport since I saw it when I was like 14 years old. I started off by doing taekwondo, and then I started doing MMA because I saw George St. Pierre, and I just really got inspired. Like everything the way that he does it, I've never felt the need to try to talk trash. At the end of the day, we're gonna get in a fist fight anyway. So I feel like the only trash talking I really need to do is with my fists. And yeah, I feel like he disrespected me a lot. And me and him, we even fought again in my pro debut. We fought on Bellator, and he talked a lot of trash leading into that one too, saying that I got lucky the first time, that I beat him by decision. I got lucky, and then I went into the rematch and I beat him in a minute. So yeah,
In a minute.
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah. Like I said, you see these things, and you're looking at the guy, and you're like, you didn't learn from the first time.
yeah.
Mm.
I mean,
I,
I don't even know if what fight he was watching. I guess somehow he thought he won the fight, and then yeah. I mean, I've always tried to be respectful with him, and he's always just found a way to I've beaten him twice already, and he still like behind my back will talk trash about me. So I really don't know what his. I don't know. I just feel like he's always not gonna like me, and that's just it is what it is.
I mean, I'm honestly the way that sounded. You're going to have to put his head through the chain link,
Through the cage.
for him to finally understand. It's like you do realize you're doing a lot, and there's nothing backing up these claims. You keep getting yourself beat. Yeah,
Wow.
I think he's one very delusional person, to be honest.
He's been
yeah.
hit so many times.
Probably, yeah, yeah.
By Fireman Christian here.
Have you ever did combat night? Or no, have you ever participated in a combat night?
Yeah, all my amateur fights were with combat night. I was the two-time flyweight champion as an amateur. I defended my title one time, and then I actually went pro because of Mitchell Chamali, who's the president. He offered me a professional contract inside of the cage. So I have nothing but love for everybody at combat night, for Mitchell and James Lawrence, who used to be the matchmaker when I was amateur, and I know now it's mostly Mitchell and Jim Adlers that are the matchmakers, and I got a lot of respect for all the guys there at Combat Night. I think they're one of the best amateur promotions around. Even professional promotions are coming up as well.
So what is your next fight you're looking to get into as soon as this COVID-19 clears?
I actually have my first chance at a world title. It's gonna be for Titan FC. It was supposed to be April 24th in the Dominican Republic on UFC Fight Pass. I was gonna be the co-main event. Uh, right
All
now,
right.
right now they're telling me it's probably gonna be May 29th in Dominican Republic, but they said that we still gotta wait and see probably the next couple weeks what goes on with this whole coronavirus. I mean, I'm training as hard as I can every day, twice a day. It's with few people that I trust. It's like my grappling coach, who he's bantamweight, so he's about my weight, and I get really good working with him. One of my main training partners, and just my striking coach, and we've just been putting in work and work and work. And
Nice. Well,
Now, where
So,
do we watch those fights over in?
so you gonna go
the
DR and
UFC is
bring
on
that
ESPN,
championship back
but
to the US?
yeah, going into enemy territory. I'm fighting a guy from over there, so I really look forward to it. I feel like me and him, we match up very well, and I feel like it's gonna be one of those fights that for 5 rounds you can expect like nonstop action. I really feel it.
1 minute knockout.
No, I think this guy is gonna go into deeper waters. I really see me and him going into deeper waters.
if you watch, if like I said, this is coming from somebody that just watched it, like YouTube and some other stuff. Just from watching your fight, you're not a trash talker. You come into the
No,
ring, you're like, all right, here we go, good. And then you fight, and then afterwards, there's no trash talking at all. I mean, it is just he is straight. I have my game plan. I'm going to do it. I respect you as a fighter, and then there's that. There's no in your face. It's been pretty cool to watch your fights.
yeah, I mean, I've never found the need to trash talk. The only thing, in a way, I don't know. There's a certain thing I do like it when people talk trash to me, because I'm not one of those guys that you talk trash to me, I'm gonna get angry and I'm gonna like throw recklessly. Like, I don't know. I just, when I feel like you talk trash to me, there's like a certain like extra level of focus that I get. Like, I kick it up to another gear. So I kind of do like it when guys talk a little bit of trash to me, but it is what it is. You're never gonna find me talking trash, because at the end of the day, I feel like we're both in there trying to like pursue a dream, and at the end of the day, win or lose, I feel like that experience is gonna make us better and move us up the ladder. Cause at the end of the day, we all want to get to the UFC, we all want to get to ONE FC, whether it be Bellator. We're all just trying to make it to the top, you know. So I don't really see the need to talk trash to sell a fight, especially if it's not natural. Because there's not many guys that I don't like. So I mean, I don't really see the need for me to have to talk trash about someone when it's not even genuine.
Yeah, Austin, I can hear you. I don't know if you heard Austin's question about the best way to watch that fight in the Dominican Republic. Is that something that UFC Fight Pass is going to put on to where anybody here can get it?
Yeah. So it's gonna be on the. You go to the UFC website. You download. Well, not download. You download the UFC app, and then it's gonna be on UFC Fight Pass, and then it's
Okay.
gonna be Titan FC. I believe 59 or 60. Yeah, no, Titan FC 60. So that fight will probably play May 29th, and then when you have the UFC Fight Pass app, you click on it, and you can pretty much just watch all the fights. There's gonna be a lot of good fights that night. So.
Well, I'm going to definitely keep in touch with you. I said, if you wouldn't mind keeping us informed, like when that actual fight goes on.
Yeah. Well,
And
for sure.
And I'll beg you. I'm not above begging, but after the fight, man, I would love if you came back on.
Oh yeah, man, for
Let's
sure.
know
I
how
mean,
it goes.
hey, you guys giving me this platform means a lot to me. So.
Yeah, I would love it. And Debbie just said it's going to be 60, so it'll be.
Yeah.
Number one fan said 60.
Yeah.
So,
hey, Debbie's on track with everything.
Yep. I said we're really looking forward. Like, we want to get down there so that way we can definitely get see her, go watch some of these fights, and we would love to be able to get like a press pass and stuff. Be able to come down there. But
oh my God, yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
I know. Dreams, pipe dreams.
Yeah. Hey, you're working up.
That's right. Yeah, we've only been doing this since September, and so just meeting through a couple of fighters. We met Debbie, and then she's just I can't even say enough about how much she's done for us just in lining up people, and that's because like I said, other than that, I don't know if we ever would have gotten somebody like your caliber fighter onto the show, because it's just you would have been sending you a message like who are these guys.
Yeah, I mean Debbie's someone that's very like close to my heart. I remember after my second pro fight, when I got out of the cage, I was going to my girlfriend and then some other people around, and Debbie was right next to my girlfriend. And I remember she just asked me for an autograph, and I think that was like one of the first times that someone ever asked me for like an autograph, and I was just truly humbled by how nice she was and how much she respects all the fighters. And ever since then, she's always been in contact with me for all my. She goes to all my fights. She buys tickets from me. She always messages me when I go to MMA events. She's always there with me if I'm cornering a friend of mine or something. She's really like just a gift from God, man. She's a great person.
Yeah, we see that. So when you corner your friends, you actually get in the ring and corner too as well.
Yeah, not too many. There's one guy that I corner him for all my fights, and he corners me for all my fights. He's probably like my best friend and my one of my main training partners too. His name is Richard Jansen. He's a bantamweight, and he actually does all his fights with combat, and he's still amateur. But after this year, I think he should be going pro. He's 4-2 right now. But yeah, whenever he fights, he's in my corner, and whenever I fight, I'm in his corner. You know, we got
Oh,
each
that's
other's
awesome.
back through everything. Yeah.
So, what's your training back? Do you have a lot of jujitsu, or is it mostly, like you said, taekwondo, MMA?
As far as my style of fighting, you
Yeah,
said.
it's your style. Do you have much in the way of jujitsu training?
I do everything. I started off with Taekwondo so before I joined the American Top Team. But ever since I've been in American Top Team, I would say I'm pretty well rounded. I train my wrestling, I train my jujitsu, I train my striking, I train either kickboxing, boxing, working like Muay Thai, working in the clinch, Greco-Roman. Yeah, pretty much everything. I think I really pride myself on trying to be super well rounded because I feel like
Nice.
the more well rounded you are in this sport, the more weapons I'll have and the more I can like kind of confuse my opponent and just throw more things at him and keep him like on the defensive.
Keep them
Yeah,
guessing.
Exactly, yeah.
we've been asking. We asked a couple of people this too. Did you watch the Cowboy Cerrone McGregor fight?
Oh yeah. I
So
mean,
that
I think that was one. If you're an MMA fan, you gotta watch that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we were asking them is, I know it happens, like the shoulder check, but do you, in through training, and I mean whether or not you guys have trained for it, or if you've seen it, because we asked them, it's like, have you seen that becoming more of an option now, like away from the kick, away from the side? Now you're in the middle of the ring, and now guys actually throwing a shoulder check right into
Uh,
the face.
yeah. To be honest, I've seen it in sparring. Well, maybe like we'll like play around with it and like bump a little bit just to maybe create some space. But I've never seen it the way that he did it. The amount of damage he created with that was really impressive. Like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, he busted up his nose. I think he hurt his orbital bone with his shoulder.
Yep.
It was ridiculous. I've never seen anything like that.
Would that be
Yeah.
something you would try?
Yeah. I mean, hey, if you put your face right here, I'll probably give you a little bump. But I mean, I don't know if I could do as much damage as he could. That was impressive. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, because just that combo, that pow, and then as he's rocking back, that kick to the side of the head, it was
Oh
just
yeah,
like, I'm like, oh my god, that
yeah.
was a brutal combo.
Yeah, I mean, I think McGregor, he really surprised a lot of people. Like, a lot of people thought he was going to just come out with the left hand. He came out with a left kick. He came out with the shoulder strikes. I think he's really starting to, like, add new things to his game. And it's really cool to see someone like him keep evolving in the sport.
But
Well,
that fight with Mayweather and McGregor, that was a bring home the money bag. We'll talk about this and we'll bring home the. That's what you think. I mean, because they both got great
Yeah,
skills, and he was going down. Mayweather could have hit him with an uppercut, but that was like,
yeah.
hey, let's bring this money home. You take half, I take half. We'll get it. We get it at the end of the day.
Yeah, I definitely feel like Mayweather probably carried him a little bit because the skill difference in that fight, you can see it from the beginning. Yeah, McGregor just wasn't comfortable doing it, because you could have a training camp for 3 months preparing for a boxing fight, but you're talking about someone like Mayweather that since he's a kid, that's all he's known. I think the same thing would have happened. Let's say if Mayweather would have fought McGregor in MMA, Mayweather would have looked even sillier. I think we all have our own sports and we all gotta know how to kind of stay in our lane.
So that was a share the bag type moment.
Yeah. I definitely think McGregor should have stayed in his lane. I think that was way too out of his element. Like Mayweather's definitely gonna go down as one of the goats in boxing. So you can't argue that. So
that's and I was just before you asked the question, I was just going to say something too on after that fight, in kind of its way, like puffing up, the way you act. I saw from Khabib to that fight, I saw a humbled McGregor. He didn't
yeah,
come in. He came in like your style. He came in with a focus. They had worked on a plan, and he went to it. I mean, even that scene, like afterwards, going in, and embracing Cowboy's mom.
yeah. I feel like those two fights, it was probably a little different. It was kind of that thing I was saying about being genuine with the trash talk. I think him and Khabib legitimately do not like each other because I know that even since Khabib and I know Connor's best friend Artem, Khabib and Artem were fighting on the same card, and then he slapped Artem in the face, and like, so I know there's like a genuine dislike towards each other, and I feel like also after Connor losing that fight, I think he had to take a step back and realize like where his focus was, because I know leading up to that fight he was still drinking and just doing probably a
Yeah.
bunch of things that he shouldn't be doing, and I think yeah, after losing that fight, I think it really humbled him, and I think also just Cowboy is such a cool dude that it's kind of hard to talk trash to someone like Cowboy. It's just such a like cool
Yeah.
American dude that. So, but yeah, I definitely think that fight humbled him.
Yeah, that was cool. I said it was one. As we're doing this, I mean, I can't wait till we have the opportunity to go see fights. Like I said, I'm hoping that the next one you have that's stateside, I'm hoping
Yeah.
I get a chance to go see it because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to. I can promise you, I can't make the Dominican Republic one, but I'm gonna try to do everything I can to watch that for sure.
I mean, I'm hoping because what they're telling me is that if depending with the coronavirus and how everything happens, they might move the fight over here, or it could get moved somewhere else. So I mean, if it's here, that'd be number one best bet for me. But if it does happen here, it might also be with no crowd, just with all this coronavirus thing. So it's kind of unfortunate everything that's happening with this,
Nope. And you said that with a no crowd. I was curious. I was going to ask you that too. So with this thing changing, how does that change up? Because you don't have that energy being fed off the crowd. So do you just have to really focus your attention on the fighter? That you don't just get kind of like we're in a sparring.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, for me, like I kind of block out the crowd anyways. Like the crowd gets really loud, but I think when I'm in the fight, I don't really hear it. I think I feel it more when I'm walking out. It probably gives me like extra butterflies and stuff. But like once I'm
Yep.
inside the cage, I don't really hear anyone. Like I'll have friends screaming my name, and I don't hear it. I think you get really tunnel vision, especially when they say go. The only thing I'm hearing is my coaches. So to me, it makes no difference. I actually saw that UFC event, the last one they did that was in Brazil with no crowd, and I actually really thought it was pretty cool. Like not having a crowd for a change.
So yeah, like I said, you might find this one to where you hear your corner. You hear them really just talk. So you might just where most people are like, okay, I do like this.
Promoters are suffering big with the no crowds. I mean, they're putting on the fight card. Then the boxing commission has to come, and they're still putting on a fight card, but there's no money. They're just y'all just giving your all. You're just doing an MMA with your all. You're giving your all for no fans. I mean, yeah, you probably see it live on TV, but the promoters are losing big on that aspect.
Yeah, I mean that's something that like I feel because I feel like we can't keep doing this and the sport keep growing, or any sport, because they stop basketball, they stop baseball. I mean, they postpone baseball. They're probably gonna postpone football too, and it kind of just sucks, because like at the end of the day, we are nothing without the fans. So
Yeah, Debbie said she's gonna have if she has to, she'll be there in a hazmat suit.
yeah.
She could be at the fight. So yeah, she said she likes your shirt. So is there? I mean, what is there? It's.
Oh yeah, so this shirt it was something that Debbie came with me to. It was for the Florida MMA Awards. She actually sat next to me in the same table as me, and I got nominated for Submission of the Year. So that was probably it was another little feather in my cap for 2019. So I was pretty happy about that too.
Nice. Yeah, he zoomed in there so we could see it.
Definitely.
That's
But
cool.
yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on. I mean, it's always nice to talk to you. If your buddy, your best friend that corners you
You guys
sometime,
there?
yeah,
Yep.
if hello.
Might have some difficulties. I'll message him and tell him. Can you hear us still? Yeah, he's. Looks like we're having some audio. I'll tell him to rejoin real quick here. That's been so far. It's been really good. Look forward to him getting back in here so we can talk to him. But yeah, he's been amazing story. I mean, I said that combat night fight was a crazy one. I mean, I said I don't know if you or Austin saw it, but he just straight out the gate, that guy had his hands down. And can you hear us again, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, no, I was just recapping again while we were waiting for you. That combat night '69, just how crazy that thing was, and just telling us like if you get a chance, definitely everybody go and watch that one because that was a cool fight.
Yeah, that was probably one of my favorite fights to date. I feel like Like, I mean, aside from all the trash talking with Chris Daniel, he's a very good fighter, and I have respect for him, even though he probably doesn't respect me too much. But yeah, he's definitely a good fighter, and I think it was a good fight all around. Though I think every round was exciting between me and him.
I always had a question. I mean, maybe you answer it, maybe you won't answer it, but I always think that MMA fighters or amateur, whether you're pro or not, sometimes they open themselves up a little bit too much when they're looking for that big shot. Only thing you're trying to land is a big shot, and
Yeah,
you open yourself up. You're throwing a lot of energy trying to give a big
yeah.
shot, and do you think that's when a lot of fighters go down when they just all they're trying to do is get a KO, a big shot, and they leave themselves open. They're giving all their energy with every shot.
Oh, 100%. I feel like the level of striking in MMA still has ways to go. I feel like I'm not saying I have a lot of work to do as far as getting my striking up, but I feel like I have a high fight IQ, and that's something that I feel like that's like mistake number one in MMA. You see a lot of guys' favorite punch is throwing an overhand right, and they'll drop their left hand or things like that. I see a lot of guys, a lot of MMA fighters, even like pro, they're shadow boxing and they're throwing a punch and they have their other hand like by their waist and things like that. And it's just stuff that it's not very high level and it's gonna get you caught later on. I feel like a good example of that too is someone like a Cody Garbrandt. If you watch his last three fights, very high level, very good boxer, but ends up looking for the knockout like three times in a row. And he's been knocked out his past three fights, and it's something sad
Oh
because
man.
man, he's such a high level guy that that shouldn't be happening to him. Period. But it's little mistakes that people make, and especially with the MMA gloves. You can't afford to be dropping your hands like
There's
that.
there's no pad there's no padding. You only use 6 inches of tape, right? And you don't tape your thumb. Most MMA fighters
No,
don't
yeah,
like their thumb tape, right?
yeah. I mean, there's a little bit of padding, but yeah, it's not too much. So you have the hand wrap, and then you have a little bit of padding. It's like 6 ounce gloves, but yeah, it's not really too much. So I mean, any mistake you make, you're gonna pay for it.
So basically, me being just somebody who watches MMA,
Yeah,
I would think that you would follow up with a power shot. You might sting him with a first shot, then you give all your energy with the power shot. But it seems like most MMA fighters, some they lead with that power and then they try to
yeah.
just follow up with a nice little. But I would think that you would lead with a nice dazing shot and then come back follow up with all the power.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like too many guys, you can't throw a power shot without finding your range. So whether that be like a jab or whether that be like a push kick or like a teep or something like that, you always want to find your range first. Because if you're just throwing power, it's really easy for someone to just step back and then hit you with a counter shot and then really put you out of position. So that's number one what you don't want to be doing.
Nice. Yeah, when the training, we did a Taekwondo, MMA, kind of the same thing back where we moved from in Oregon, and it was the same thing. Like you always taught, you're here,
Yeah,
and then when you punch, you leave this here. You don't drop
exactly.
it.
Yeah,
And then when you right as you go to punch, boom, you're back with the other one
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Your
because the
hands,
minute you
your hands
drop
are
down,
always your first line of defense. Yeah.
yeah. And I've seen so many people do that where, like you said, it's just they go here, they go for the shot, and then they drop that other hand because they're wanting to do that haymaker, and that's when they just get rocked.
Yeah, and it just not, and it's also what you were saying. You start wasting your gas tank like that too. If you every shot you're throwing is you're a big shot, a big shot, a big shot. But these are 5 minute rounds. It's not like boxing that it's 3 minute rounds. These 5 minute rounds they're long and you like they're long. Like if you're throwing all power shots in round one, I promise you by the time maybe halfway through round two, you're gonna be gassing.
Oh yeah. Well, if for anybody that's never done jujitsu, and I always tell them this, it's like it looks like they're like, oh come on, just like I'm like, no, when you're rolling around the mat, it is amazing how exhausted you get just in that grappling. I mean, you're using every muscle you can trying to do that side to turn,
Yeah, to
and
hit
it's
the
just
cage. Yeah,
oh
I mean, it just don't seem like you just hold your hands like this. It doesn't seem like they get heavy, but they get heavy after you just been trying to deliver power shot after power shot. Then you're like, dude, I can't even hold my hands up no more. Like, and I'm
yeah.
just getting
I
like,
think just like another factor that like a lot of people don't take into consideration is like MMA. There's so many different types of cardio. Like let's say if I'm in the middle of like a grappling exchange, I'm in the middle of wrestling a guy, and we've been wrestling for about a minute. I'm really like squeezing and squeezing a lot. By the time you break away from that, there's a lot of blood filled in your arm. So there's just so many things. From striking, you're more like trying to be loose, trying to be quick, and then when you're on the ground, you're trying to hold your opponent down. And you're trying to look for submission and stuff. There's just so many different like facets of cardio that you need to like take into consideration.
yeah, that's yeah. I was we were talking with another one, and it's just for me. as a novice coming in, it always looked like when you're on the grappling around, it's like you're like, I don't want to be on the bottom. I'm like, and half the time, the guy that's on the bottom is the one that's going to come out on top.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think,
because
and it's also just having a good level of jujitsu because that's another problem. Like in MMA, I feel like sometimes I feel like a lot of guys they like being on top, being on top, being on top, and then they end up in their back and they look like a fish out of water. Like you want to be comfortable everywhere. Yeah, like jujitsu 101 is being on your back, like knowing how to throw up a triangle, how to throw up an arm bar, how to go for sweeps, how to be able to push away on someone's hips and get back up. So I feel like it's just having a high level of understanding of jujitsu and being able to scramble like with your wrestling or your grappling in
Mhm.
general. So
no, that's man. I hope you get to that fight, man. I really do. Like I said, just talking with you,
yeah.
I'm like, I want to see your next fight. I just,
No, yeah, no. 100%. My next fight is for the title. It's for the Titan FC flyweight title against a guy down there in the Dominican Republic. I believe he's 10-6. So it should be a good fight. I'm excited for it. I'm really
nice.
really excited for it.
As we've been doing this and as we've been interviewing people, I've been getting, my passion for MMA has been growing along
Yeah,
with it too. And I'm watching these things, and it's that thing where now, as you've met somebody, it's kind of you get that fanboy type thing. It's like I'm going to see Christian come down there. I'm like, holy crap, man! I was talking to that guy. I'm like,
yeah, yeah,
oh, no, I'll be rooting for you now because here will be this guy on TV that I'm
yeah,
watching. That I personally have talked to. I go, it's going to be pretty cool.
yeah.
I'm love it.
I mean, I appreciate that a lot. And before you guys know, you guys are probably gonna be like a big interview site too, and people are gonna be fanboying over you guys. It's just like just the work you keep putting in, and it
So
goes up.
so
If
what do
that
you do?
happens, you're always welcome.
So what do
Thank
you
you.
do other than train? Do you want to call out your gym, or do you have any other endeavors that you would like to put out on air? I mean, if you do, you can go ahead and shout them out and let everybody know.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I split my time between three gyms. They're all American Top Team, but my main gym, like my home base gym where I get most of my coaching, is American Top Team Miramar. But I also go to American Top Team Sunrise to get my sparring in, and I do drills also with one of the striking coaches there, who's also like pretty much my manager. He handles all my fights. So I really want to shout out Roger Crawl. He's one of like the main guys that's like taking me under his wing and just been such a great influence in my life. Carl Darbuz as well. He's another striking coach of mine, and also my MMA and grappling coach Chris Navarro. And the other gym that I go to is the main American Top Team, where all the UFC fighters go, all the professional guys go in Coconut Creek. I've trained a lot with like Joanna Jędrzejczyk. She's like a good friend of mine. I've also trained a lot with like Jamie Alvarez, who's a stud at flyweight. Juan Puerta, who was the Titan FC flyweight champion, he's in Combate America now. And yeah, those are the three gyms that I pretty much split my time with. I also do strength and conditioning at Fight Fit with my strength and conditioning coach Mark Barquarian. So if you guys want to check him out, you can check him out as Science Over Hype. Anything strength and conditioning related, I feel like that's a guy that you can really get like some good insight from.
So you go all the way between Lauderdale, Sunrise, Coconut Creek. Oh, you all over the down south area. When you said
Yeah,
Sunrise, that's Lauderdale.
yeah, man. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
like a normal week for me when this whole corona thing wasn't going on, like usually 3 times a week in the morning I drive all the way to Coconut Creek and then I come back, and then I'm pretty much at Miramar Monday through Friday, and then I split my time. Before I go to Miramar, I'll get my strength and conditioning in because it's like maybe 5-10 minutes apart from Miramar, and then I'll come to Miramar, either do a wrestling class or a jiu-jitsu class with the gi or without the gi, or I'll get some striking drills in. And then my sparring is usually in the mornings at Coconut Creek or Saturdays at Sunrise with Roger Craw and those guys down there.
Okay.
So what have you been doing for training, during this, COVID thing? I mean, you've been fine, like you said, we were talking about that, pull ups on trees, doing.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's been great for me. Not what's going on, but as far as like, I feel like I've been able to train more in a weird way because I feel like I've what I've been doing in the mornings, I've either been running or I've been lifting weights and things like that. I have access to like a small gym that I can get all my lifts in, so I've been able to do that. And then every day in the afternoon, I've either been working with my striking coach and my MMA grappling coach Chris Navarro, which I'm very thankful for because he's about my size. He's one weight class higher than me. He's a professional fighter too. He's been more focusing now on owning ATT Miramar, so he hasn't been fighting too much, but he still grapples all the time. He's a high level black belt. He can strike as well, so I've been getting in a lot of training, like one on one training with him. And then with my striking coach, we've been working a lot too, Carl Darbuz, and I've been working with my main training partner, Richard Jansen. So I feel like I'm improving a lot during this time of this whole pandemic. And I feel like when everything gets back to normal, you're gonna see a much better Christian Ynastrilla.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking when you were just saying you're practicing with
Yeah,
kind of just the mixed belt up. I
yeah,
was always that way with my training. It's like I didn't want to spar against the green belts. I
yeah,
wanted, I wanted the brown belts. I wanted the high reds. I wanted the black
yeah,
belts. I go. If you kick my ass, great. I
yeah.
know what I did wrong.
Yeah, I think I'm just that guy of how competitive I am. I could be playing tic tac toe, and I feel like I'll get angry if I don't win that. Like I'm really competitive, and like one thing that I know is gonna help me win is finding the best guy in the room. So even when I go to American Top Team, I'm always trying to find the toughest guy, and even if I'm getting beat up that round, I know that that's something that's gonna prepare me for the fight. I'm always trying to find just the highest level, and like my coach Chris Navarro, he's a black belt. So I mean, going with him at least 2 or 3 days out of the week, we're going for about half an hour. I feel like that's really just sharpening me up, because someone like him, you don't find that in a lot of places. Just finding a black belt of that level, like going with him constantly, scrambling, grinding, you're tired, and he's there pushing you and pushing you. So,
Yeah, I mean, it improves you. I mean, it can only make you better.
yeah, 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 definitely.
That's like, well, sir, it has been a pleasure.
It has been a real pleasure.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure talking with you guys. So, thank
Do you
you.
have any gear? Like your own site or anything that you have your own gear that you try to sell? Just if you have that, plug that, man.
No, the only sponsor I want to give a shout out to right now that I have is my chiropractor. It's Chiro Fit Pines. That's his name on Instagram as well. It's Dr. Brett. I mean, he's a great chiropractor. If any of you guys are in the Pembroke Pines area, I would recommend you guys checking him out. Other than that, yeah, that's pretty much the only sponsor I really want to shout out. And other than that, I just want to shout out all my friends and all my family and everybody that just supports me in general. And a big shout out to the number one MMA fan, Debbie, for introducing me to you guys. I really appreciate her always.
Yeah,
And
thank
I'll,
you, Debbie. Yeah,
and also, if you have anybody that just want to come run their mouth, let them know. Hey, we're the platform. You come run your mouth. Talk, get us out there. A little bit.
Yeah, yeah,
We're
yeah, for
definitely
sure.
taking.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be sending messages to you, Craig, and I'll let you know about some other cool
awesome.
up and coming fighters that I think it'd be cool if you give them like
Yeah,
little
'cause
interviews.
I think you can see we're not too rough. I mean, it's a pretty easy interview because
Yeah,
we're,
yeah, yeah,
we're not pros yet. Not pros yet, but no, you were
yeah,
always welcome back, sir. You just need to let me know. I
yeah,
said, if you want to, like I said, especially, after that fight, if you're up to it, dude, I would love to have you on the next, that next show and
yeah,
talk
yeah.
and just get your thoughts on, how you.
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to.
Awesome. Well, Christian,
Have a good night, guys. I hope you
you
guys stay
too.
safe
Hey,
through all of this.
yep, you
Train
stay
hard,
safe.
stay safe.
Yep, and
You
we
too,
look forward
boss.
to keep us
See you
informed
guys.
when that fight's going on because I said I want to watch it.
Yeah, bro, for sure. I'll keep you updated with everything.
All right, we will throw you some love from the Three Beards here. So.
Thank you so much, man.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. Well, that was an awesome, amazing interview. Wish we could all go to DR.
I know.
But
I know. I wish I had to do it, but there's no way we could do that stuff. So, but yeah, he was great. Christian. I said, best of luck in that thing, man. Good with the training, and I said I hope the fight goes off, and I said definitely want to see it. And so, this episode was brought to you by Three Beards Podcast. And the sponsor is Brats Beard Care. And go to broadsbeardcare.com, use promo code 3beers, capital B, and you'll get 20% off your order. Amazing beard oil, beard soap. Use it all the time. Shower, gets the beard all nice and clean. Then
while you're quarantined, ain't nothing like smelling like some fresh tobacco and sandalwood. Then they're just.
so Snake Vanilla does not want to snuggle up against a piece of steel wool. I said she's they're gonna want the nice soft beard to snuggle up against. So this beard oil is that for that product. So and then Nanny Cakes, Nancy Burke. Unfortunately, I'm always terrible with his phone number, and Austin is not here to help me out with this. I can 407. That's all I know.
945.
I think it's 923. Yeah, I'm terrible. I apologize. Terrible. This is the professionalism I bring to this podcast. Awesome. Check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. You've obviously found us on Facebook, so please like, share, throw that around there, get your friends introduced to us. If they haven't already. And check us out, threebeerspodcast.com. We do have some merchandise on there. We're trying to get around to getting some more stuff made up there. We appreciate any of the support. It helps put this on. So thank you again for everybody watching. Hopefully we'll get
Stay
Austin on
safe.
next time. Chris, thank you. Producer Matt, thank you for everything tonight. And we will see you guys next Wednesday. We will have Jimmy Hickman to talk to us about medical marijuana and its ability to help fight cancer. And it, not just for getting high. It is going to have a lot of health properties. So Wednesday's episode is going to be with Jimmy Hickman. Please tune in for that. We'll love to see you then, everybody.
Stay safe.
Good night.